Know the top stories of the day. Understand the issues that matter. This is Manila Bulletin News on Web. Your quick rundown of top news in the country and around the world. Manila Bulletin, celebrating 120 years of timely stories and timeless truths. Be fully informed.
Hi, I'm Barbie Atienza. This is MB Now, and here are your news on web. Experts monitoring the COVID-19 situation in the country urge the government to rethink its decision in allowing increased movement of people, as this could turn into a dangerous superspreader event and could trigger another wave. In its latest monitoring report issued Wednesday, the Okta research team said the public should be more cautious of its impact, especially this holiday season. The government's pandemic task force had earlier allowed the limited conduct of workshops, training, seminars, and other related events in areas under the General Community Quarantine or GCQ. It also previously adjusted the age group of persons who are allowed to go out of their homes to 15 to 65 years old. Aside from the increased mobility due to the expansion of economic activity, Okta added that pandemic fatigue also caused the deteriorating compliance of the public with the minimum health standard that contributed to the increase in new cases. Also among the contributing factors to the spike in COVID-19 cases are the failure of local government units to strictly enforce quarantine regulations and the continuing post-typhoon effects, which include delays in test reports due to the temporary closing of test centers. Okta recommended to the government to further increase the capacity of the national healthcare system in preparation for potential outbreaks, as well as to enhance its efforts on testing and contact tracing. The Okta team is an independent and interdisciplinary research group that has been monitoring the COVID-19 outbreak in the Philippines. It is composed primarily of UP faculty members and alumni, with contributors from the University of Santo Tomas and Providence College in the USA. Locally developed, low-cost, high-quality aerosol monitors have been produced by researchers from the University of the Philippines, Diliman, as a means to help minimize air pollution in the cities. The aerosol monitors were developed in partnership with the Department of Science and Technology, Philippine Council for Industry, Energy and Emerging Technology Research and Development. Spearheaded by Dr. Len Herald V. Lim, the Robust Optical Aerosol Monitor, or Project ROAM, was initiated to measure particulate matter concentration in the air. It provides crucial information to create policies and programs for environmental protection. The team has already produced 10 optical aerosol monitors. 4 of these have been verified for performance through co-location experiments with aerosol equipment used by the Department of Environment and Natural Resources Environmental Management Bureau. The remaining 6 are being tested for performance and will be subject to stricter co-location experiments when conditions permit. DOST PCI EERD Executive Director Dr. Enrico C. Paring expressed hope that the technology can be adopted by local government units who want to improve their area's air quality through scientific means. The Armed Forces of the Philippines and the Philippine National Police have supported President Dutertes' pronouncement to rule out declaring any ceasefire with communists during his term. The AFP previously recommended to the president not to declare a traditional holiday ceasefire with the communists, citing rebels' lack of sincerity in respecting the holiday truce with their continued crimes. The government usually declares a ceasefire with the communist-led rebels during the Christmas holidays, which is reciprocated by the rebels. However, in a televised interview or address on Monday night, President Duterte declared to forego any ceasefire with rebel groups, not only this Christmas season, but also for the rest of his term. For the part of the police force, PNP Chief Police General Debold Sinas said that they are supporting Duterte's declaration and will remain on defense mode with or without a ceasefire. According to SINAS, the PNP will continue to deploy authorities and pursue operations against rebels. The Department of Labor and Employment said more than 2 million workers are presently under floating status. Labor Undersecretary Benjo Benavides revealed this during the Laging Handa press briefing on Wednesday. He said that more than 2 million workers came from 96,000 establishments, but he said they want to again check the figures since many companies were already allowed to resume operations since last month. The labor officials said under the law, the employer-employee relationship may be suspended in case of suspension of operation of the business or undertaking of the employer for a period not exceeding 6 months. If not rehired after 6 months, Benavides said the employee placed on floating status must be provided with their separation pay. He said the separation pay is equivalent to 1.5 months of pay for every year of service. Benavides also revealed that they released a department order allowing the extension of the rehiring policy for temporarily displaced workers for another 6 months. The Labor Department, however, stressed that the extension of suspension of employment shall not affect the right of the employees to separation pay, adding that the first 6 months of suspension of employment shall be included in the computation of the employees' separation pay. The DOLE already said that although employers were allowed to extend the floating status of their employees beyond a maximum of 6 months provided for in the Labor Code, they cannot force their employees to agree with it, as it should be based on an agreement between the two parties. In Metro News, Quezon City Government forms task force for acquisition and distribution of COVID-19 vaccines. And Navotas compound placed under lockdown until December 19. More from this report.
As more vaccines against the COVID-19 are formulated worldwide, Quezon City Mayor Joy Belmonte has formed a task force to ensure the fast and orderly acquisition and distribution of vaccine in the city. The task force Vax to Normal. The Quezon City COVID-19 vaccine plan is composed of various department heads of the city government and representatives from private stakeholders. Belmonte said the city government is now reviewing and finalizing the database of those in the priority list for inoculation. In line with the national guidelines, health workers, senior citizens, indigent and vulnerable sectors, frontliners, essential workers, soldiers, policemen, uniformed personnel, and business essential workers will be prioritized in the immunization plan. A compound in Barangay North Bay Boulevard South, Navotas City is under lockdown until Saturday, December 19 due to spike in suspect COVID-19 infections. According to executive order signed by Navotas City Mayor Toby Tiangco, the city government found that there were 4 confirmed COVID-19 cases and 16 suspect cases in the said area. During the lockdown, no one is allowed to leave their houses except frontline health workers and essential workers, among others, provided that they have already tested negative for COVID-19 and can present a valid company identification card. Residents who have medical emergencies are also allowed to go to medical institutions and seek treatment. All residents of NBBS will undergo swab testing, and those who test positive will be isolated and treated. The city government will also provide relief packs to residents affected by the lockdown. Tiangco asked for residents' patience and cooperation until the lockdown period ends.
Here are the top news in other parts of the country. The Department of Tourism condemns 6 Boracay tourists who falsified RT-PCR tests. Bohol now open to leisure travelers starting December 15. And Davao region's COVID cases breach the 10,000 mark. More from this report.
The Department of Tourism, as the co-vice chair of the Boracay Interagency Task Force, condemns the tourists from Luzon who counterfeited COVID-19 test results upon entry in Boracay Island on Saturday, December 5. According to a report, 4 females and 2 males from Metro Manila were arrested by the police after authorities confirmed that 5 of the 6 RT-PCR test results were forged. Tourism Secretary Bernadette Romulo Puyat commended the swift action of the Aklan Provincial Police in dealing with the suspects. She said that similar malicious actions will not be condoned as they undermine the collaborative efforts at protecting and reviving Boracay tourism. The province of Bohol will now be accepting leisure travelers regardless of age, including those coming from GCQ areas, starting December 15 under a test before travel policy. The Department of Tourism, through its marketing arm Tourism Promotions Board, will be allocating 10 million pesos subsidy for the province for the low-cost COVID-19 RT-PCR testing. Travelers are required to submit a negative RT-PCR test conducted 72 hours prior to travel. They must also have a pre-arranged booking at a DOT-certified accommodation establishments and tour operators. They must also register through the province's website www.centralbooking.myboholtouristcard.com to validate the travel request. Once approved, the LGU will issue a contact tracing card bearing a unique QR code which will serve as a pass upon entry and while in Bohol. The number of reported cases of coronavirus disease in the Davao region has surpassed the 10,000 mark. The DOH Davao Center for Health Development reported on Tuesday, 63 new cases of COVID-19 were recorded, bringing the total number of cases to 10,090. The region's recorded COVID-19 cases reached the 10,000 mark on Monday, December 7, after 104 COVID-19 cases were recorded. Based on the COVID-19 Regional Case Bulletin dated December 8, the total number of active cases is at 2,646. The number of recoveries was 58, bringing the total number of reported recoveries to 7,050. Meanwhile, the number of deaths have increased to 394 after 4 deaths were reported.
In world news, Trump signs decree to ensure vaccines go to Americans first. A 90-year-old grandmother gets first COVID jab in the UK. And Dubai showcases singing robots and flying taxis in latest tech innovations. Let's watch this report.
President Donald Trump announced a decree Tuesday aimed at granting Americans priority access to vaccines, but faced questions over whether the White House missed an opportunity to shore up sufficient doses in the months ahead. Biden warned that efforts to get the vaccine out to Americans would slow and stall if Congress does not urgently come up with funding, as he also introduced members of his health team. It was unclear whether Trump's executive order, which he said would ensure that American citizens have first priority to receive American vaccines, would hold legal weight, since drug makers have already signed deals with other countries. But it signals the White House is concerned about whether it has sufficient doses to meet its immunization targets, which are 100 people by the end of February and the whole country by June. A 90-year-old British grandmother became the first person in a Western country to receive an approved coronavirus vaccine, as Britain rolled out Pfizer-BioNTech's drug in the biggest inoculation drive in its history. Margaret Keenan, who turns 91 next week, said it was the best early birthday present she received. Britain last week became the first country to approve the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine, raising hopes of a breakthrough in the pandemic, which has killed more than 1.5 million worldwide. The jab was administered by May Parsons, a nurse originally from the Philippines, who has worked for the Britain state-run National Health Service for 23 years.
I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. Life is plastic. It's fantastic.
A human-like robot singing to visitors while others dance to techno music were showcased in 2020 GTEC's biggest technology and communication event at the Dubai World Trade Center. Flying taxis and high-tech gadgets are also one of the highlights of the exhibit. More than 1,200 companies from over 60 countries, including Israel, participated in the 5-day event and conference.
In entertainment, Justin Bieber will be serenading Beliebers around the world in an online concert on New Year's Eve. The pop star will hold his online concert on December 31 at 7:15 p.m. Pacific Time or January 1, 2021 at 11:15 a.m. Philippine Time. Justin shared on Twitter the poster of the concert and has garnered thousands of reactions from Beliebers around the world. The concert will mark the singer's first live show since 2017. 7 celebrities from the Philippines have made it to Forbes Asia's 100 Digital Stars list, which highlights the Asia Pacific's most influential celebrities who have taken the digital world by storm. Among these celebrities are Angel Locsin, Marian Rivera Dantes, Kim Chiu, Ann Curtis, Catherine Bernardo, Vice Ganda, and Sarah Geronimo. The inaugural Forbes Asia's 100 Digital Stars list features 100 singers, bands, film, and TV stars with a strong social media presence. The selected celebrities have maintained their relevance and popularity in this challenging period by leveraging on the power of social media. Many have also used their influence to support worthy causes, especially those with a COVID-19 focus. Forbes is known for championing success by celebrating those who have made it and those who aspire to make it. The Philippine Athletics Track and Field Association, or PATAFA, is exploring the possibility of sending Olympic-bound pole vaulter E.J. Obiena to Finland due to the alarming coronavirus cases in Italy. PATAFA President Philip Wico said he is coordinating with the Finland Athletics Association regarding this plan after it was reported that the training center in Formia, where Obiena has been training, might be temporarily shut down. Wico said Obiena and his coach Vitaly Petrov first considered Germany, but the country does not allow non-Germans at the training center. Petrov also considered Dubai, but the training costs are expensive. As of Wednesday, Finland has reportedly tallied 28,242 total coronavirus cases, including 9,718 active cases and 424 deaths. Italy, meanwhile, experienced a spike in November, tallying 1.7 million total cases, including 737,525 active cases and 61,240 deaths at the moment. Obiena will be participating in the World Indoor Championship in March 2021 in Nanjing, China, which serves as a springboard to his preparations for the Tokyo Olympics set in July. Obiena is one of the 4 Filipinos who have already qualified for the Olympics. It's almost Christmas, and despite the ongoing pandemic, I'm sure many of you are still not done in making your list for Santa. Well, to help you with your list, Manila Bulletin's Tech News editor Art Samaniego shares with us a few gadgets that you might want to consider adding to your wish list. Here is Tech Talks 2020 Christmas Tech List.
Christmas is just around the corner. And while everyone is already in holiday mode, us here in the Manila Bulletin Tech Lab have listed gadgets to give you an idea on what to give this Christmas. Hi, I'm Art Samaniego and welcome to Tech Talks 2020 Christmas Tech List. With connectivity being the vital tool during this pandemic, we have listed a few smartphones that can suit your budget. First is the Vivo V20 Pro, the first Android smartphone that carries the newest Android 11 operating system. It has a 6.44-inch FH Plus display with 2400 by 1080 display. It has a triple camera setup at the back with a 48-megapixel main sensor and 8 and 4 megapixels for mono, wide angle, and macro lenses. It's also 5G ready, so you know that its connectivity will be fast. For a budget alternative, the Cherry Mobile Aqua S9 Max is just as impressive, but with a more affordable price tag. It's a gaming smartphone with a Helio 690T processor with cooling technology, perfect for all your Call of Duty and League of Legends adventures. Its premium jade green finish looks like it's more expensive than its $9,999 price tag. For the added productivity in your work-from-home setup, the Logitech Silent Wireless Combo MK295 is a perfect fit for a noiseless typing and clicking while you work even in the wee hours of the night. It produces 90% less noise than an ordinary keyboard and mouse, and both the keyboard and the mouse is connected to a single receiver which boasts a range of 10 meters. With the coronavirus disease still a threat to everyone, a face mask is still an essential outwear for everyone. But sometimes, face mask gets uncomfortable to wear. Enter the Airwheel F3 electric mask respirator. It has an aerodynamic system that lets in fresh air in every breath you take. Its fan can also adjust to your breathing so you can still inhale enough fresh air no matter what your activity is. It also comes with a smartphone app that calculates the usage of the filter depending on the inner environment and alerts you when it's time to replace it. And that is Tech Talk for this week. Be sure to tune in again next week as we continue our Christmas tech list for 2020. This is Art Samaniego for Tech Talk. Be fully informed.
More gadgets will be featured next Wednesday, so be sure to tune in for the second part of Tech Talk's 2020 Christmas Tech List. And those are the news on Web today, December 9, 2020. It's 16 days before Christmas. For more news and details, get your copy of Manila Bulletin newspaper tomorrow or log on to www.mb.com.ph, or you may also subscribe to our newsletter through the link on this video's caption to have the day's latest news delivered to your inbox. I am Barbie Atienza for Manila Bulletin, celebrating 120 years of timely stories and timeless truths. Join us again tomorrow. This has been MB Now. Be fully informed.